Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is regarding the upcoming Mercury retrograde, and Mercury will be retrograde from August 5th to August 28th, and it starts at 4 degrees Virgo and retrogrades back to 21 degrees Leo. So if you have planets in early Virgo or late Leo, you will definitely be feeling this energy of this retrograde. It doesn't have to be horrible though, and I definitely don't want to create dismal messages. But I also think that it is really important because right now Mercury is squaring Mars. I think it's really important to slow down and pay attention. And yesterday I wrote about it on my community page. If you guys want to take a look at my community page, I did write about how yesterday a car almost ran into me while I was crossing a street, and like how it was kind of scary actually. And it really reminded me, because this particular Mercury retrograde is stationing on my natal Mars, and Mars is also on my natal Mercury right now, about how important it is around Mercury retrogrades to slow down and pay attention. And just goes to show you that even us as astrologers, sometimes we don't always know how the energy is going to manifest, and it can manifest in multiple ways. For instance, there are some other things going on right now. For me, I won't necessarily bring them up here, but they're also really indicative of this Mercury Mars thing going on right now. So I just, caution everybody, as we normally do, take our normal precautions, be careful, slow down, take it easy, watch where you're going, particularly right around the stations when it's stationing retrograde or stationing direct, which is August 5th and August 28th. Since we're at the end of July, we are pretty much already in this energy. So, take a deep breath. I always warn my boyfriend, who is a double Gemini, before he leaves the house and Mercury retrogrades start, don't get in fights with people today. Stay away from road rage. Stay calm. If you're in your car and there's funky stuff going on around you, or you're on foot and walking somewhere, stay calm, be careful, don't engage, okay? So just standard Mercury retrograde behavior. Try not to throw your computer out the window, all the different things, okay? So we will go ahead and begin with the reading today. And today's reading is called, What Does This Upcoming Mercury Retrograde Have in Store for You? And I have 3 piles for you to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Sacral Chakra. Okay, if you're feeling the energy of the Sacral Chakra and you like the design of this card with the yellows and the oranges and the pomegranates on it, you'll go ahead and choose pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have the Queen of Cups, and we have a beautiful ballerina here looking very graceful. And on here we have the words flow, grace, beauty, making it look easy. I love her defined arms there too. Very nice, very much Mercury and Virgo with the defined arms and the defined muscles. So we've got the Queen of Cups there. And then we have for pile number 3, this retrograde is going to be going back into Mercury and Leo. And so it would be appropriate to have a fire card here as well. And for the 3rd card, we have Fierce, Untamed, and Ready, okay? And bringing on some of that Leo kind of fierce energy as well. So go ahead and tap into what you're most feeling today. Is it Sacral Chakra? Is it Queen of Cups, if I can talk, flow, grace, and beauty? Or is it the King, or this is my King of Wands card in my deck, is it the Fierce, Untamed, and Ready card? So anyway, you can go directly to the description box below, and we are going to start with pile number 1. There'll be timestamps in the description box if you want details for how to request a reading with me. Details are below. Thank you so much, everybody, and take care. Let's begin. Pile number one, welcome to your reading. You chose the sacral chakra, and today's reading is called Mercury Retrograde. What is coming for you? And we have the time from August 5th to August 8th, where Mercury will be retrograde for everybody. Okay, so, and it will start in the early degrees of Virgo and end at 21 degrees Leo. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is upcoming for the upcoming Mercury retrograde for pile number one, please. What can pile number one expect for this Mercury retrograde? Besides like screaming and barking dogs, which you guys may be able to hear in the background. Not screaming, just barking. The dogs are barking. And let's go ahead and look at what can pile number one expect for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. What can pile number one expect, please? Hopefully not dogs screaming. We don't need screaming. They just start barking at the beginning of your reading. Anyway, we've got the Magician, Holy Mercury energy. All right, pile number one. And let's go ahead and begin. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Lovers. Ooh, I like that. We've got the Five of Wands. You know, there's always going to be a little spiciness, a little testiness. And then we've got Everything is Fine here, which is the Ten of Swords in this particular deck. We've got the Tower coming out under the Strength card. We've got the King of Pentacles under the Lovers, okay? We've got the Three of Pentacles under the Five of Wands. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles under the Ten of Swords. We have Desk, pay attention to your work, okay? You know, work could be a source of strength for you during this time. Pile number one, I'm going to close my door here because the dogs are going crazy. Sorry about that, pile number one. Anyway, so we have the Desk here. Pay attention to your work, right? There's so many distractions, just like in this reading. Distractions going on, okay? Situation around us can be chaos with the Tower. Lots of upheaval, lots of things up in the air, okay? We have here flow. Surrender to the journey and see where it will take you. All right, and this is with the Lover's energy and the King of Pentacles. And I actually feel love, emotions, things like that could be totally on your mind during this Mercury retrograde. And some good things actually could be happening in your love life, I feel, during this Mercury retrograde. It may be work or projects or things. Like your love life could actually be like a high point or a good point during this retrograde, or you're wanting to spend a lot of time with the people that you care about. And you're wanting to spend more time dedicated to the people you care about. But sometimes, like, you know, we focus in one area too much, and then the other areas of our life start to crumble a little bit. And so that can definitely show up during Mercury retrograde. And sometimes it can be really hard to work with people during Mercury retrogrades as well. And I see the word ban here, ban. So somebody gets banned for saying the wrong thing, okay? Or somebody says or does the wrong thing and gets banned for it. Now, okay, so I know that's not going to be you, pile number one, because you guys are straight shooters. I know you're not going to be saying things that'll get you banned, but there could be, like if you have social media accounts, I would say just be careful because there may be people kind of pressing your buttons or trying to start fights with you. And so if they are leaving rude comments or they are being challenging with you, it could be because they're feeling competitive or jealous towards you and they just are looking for a fight. So I would definitely stay away from that energy. Also, I feel like some of you may hear from your bank as well during this Mercury retrograde. You know, sometimes like we have to renew our credit cards, or sometimes there is like we need to get a new debit card because there's suspicious activity on our accounts, stuff like that. So I would also pay attention to what's going on at your bank and what's going on with your money. And also, like, be careful transferring money back and forth between accounts, because especially if you've had a drink or two and you're just online trying to do bills or budget or something, and you accidentally put too much money someplace versus another, I would kind of just, you know, pay attention to that a little bit. And also, like, you know, if you do receive any communications from your bank, make sure that it's actually your bank and not somebody trying to do some type of fraud, you know, because there's a lot of like fakers. There's a lot of like duplicitous liars and fakers and people out there trying to run scams. And so I would just be careful about, you know, that energy going on. Some of you may have like a really hot banker or a really hot attorney or a really hot boss or like a really hot insurance agent or, you know, a really hot like somebody in the business realm with the King of Pentacles that you run into that helps you, that you really trust, and you're going with the flow of things. And they're actually really hot too. On top of it, they may be older or sexy, but something's hot about them. I also feel some of you watching old TV shows that you used to really like, where someone's gotten older now, but they're still really hot. I'm just seeing all these random things, pile number one, okay? And it could be kind of like memories or reminiscing on that, or you see a TV show that reminds you of someone and you're like, oh, I should call that person, or oh, that reminds me, I should get a hold of that person. Or you're like, yeah, what happened to my banker? They were kind of sexy or whatever, this type of thing. Okay. But I also feel like it's, you know, it's hard when people are not wanting to work together, and people are fighting and passing the buck and passing the blame, and they're playing the game of hot potato. Like, I throw the hot potato at you and then, ooh, you know, and it's like no one really wants to take responsibility or step up and take charge of a situation, and everyone's trying to pass the buck to other people. And so I think leadership is really going to be needed during this Mercury retrograde. And it's like, I feel like you guys are kind of like, ugh, like none of you guys really have it together here. No one's really taking responsibility here. I'll do it, okay? I'll take the responsibility and get things back on track here. And, you know, I'll get after it and get these people in order and put these people in line. Because what happens is if it's like herding cats and no one knows what to do and everyone is kind of all over the place, you know, there could be fighting in family, like family members are getting annoyed and fighting with each other, you know, over logistics or small shit or little things, okay? I see a grandparent fighting with like a granddaughter, okay? Or just, you know, sometimes people say things and they take little cheap shots at each other, and it could be just, and you know, the thing is we need to get back to productivity, right? We need to get back to like, you know, we need to get back to things making sense. We need to get back to like things being in order and plans going as planned. And so I feel like there's a lot of people during this retrograde that aren't really sure what to do, or are kind of, you know, and I feel at one point you guys get kind of, you're like, are these people psychotic? And you get kind of tired of it because you're like, ugh, you know, with this 10 of Swords. And again, she's kind of like spaced off into her phone or watching TV or something, but I feel like you get kind of tired of it and you're like, ugh, these people, they will not get a clue. They're always, fighting with each other all the time, and I try to tell them, like, the better way to do something, and they don't want to listen. And you know what? I just don't give a shit anymore, okay? And maybe it's just like I tried to show them, I tried to give them like direction on things, but whatever. As long as like, and I feel there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. Some of you could be deciding what to do with certain money or payouts, or you're like, I need to roll over my fucking 401k and I gotta talk to someone about this, or I gotta, make this expenditure, but I can't get a hold of anyone, and I need to talk to somebody about this expenditure or this money, okay? I also feel like that is something going on, and I actually feel like with the Strength card in the Tower, like, life at this point could almost throw anything at you, pile number one, and I feel like you have got it, okay? Work is very unpredictable right now. Work is a little bit of a hot mess, and people really need leadership and guidance right now. They really need somebody who remains calm, focused, and centered during times of upheaval. And so, yeah, I do think this is a good time, because the thing is if you don't kind of take the reins and take control of things, things quickly fall apart during this Mercury retrograde. So you will take the reins and take control, and you will pay attention to your work, because there's a lot to pay attention to there. We have here, you can't be friends with everyone, okay? And here's the thing, not everyone is going to like what you're doing, and not everyone is going to be on board with what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's what needs to get done. The job needs to get done, right? So, it's like I feel like there's a lot of like really overly sensitive people during this Mercury retrograde, and you're kind of like, ugh, especially creatively. I feel like people's egos could be wounded quite easily during this time, and they could be quite prickly. And, so that may be something that's going on. I'm picturing like a writer's room where everyone wants their storyline to be the storyline, and it's like, it can't be everyone. We got to just pick a storyline here and go with it type of thing, okay? And not everyone is going to like the way that you are fixing things or planning things, but I also feel some of you could get rid of somebody that before you were just kind of going with the flow with and trusting your money with them, etc. Some of you may be getting rid of someone and saying, I don't like this person anymore. I don't want them handling my stuff. But anyway, we have friends do what they do because they are our friends and we love them. But while some people can be our friends, others cannot. The difference is that friends can be inconvenient, annoying, and troublesome, expensive, and taxing, but we will forgive them, okay? And I mean, yeah, I feel like people, for some of you, this transit or this Mercury retrograde may be hitting your 11th house as well, or 5th house, because that's the opposite of the 11th house in astrology. So there could be things coming up, arguments with friends, fights with friends, and it's like, we can't really I feel you're in the position to call the shot or make the decision on something, pile number one, but it may ruffle people's feathers. And you're the one with the ideas, with the magician. You're the problem solver. You're the one with the ideas. And your mind is actually very strong, I feel, during this retrograde. And people are going to need you to stay sane and focused, is what I feel, okay? And at the end of the day, you might be like, you know what? I don't care anymore. Like, I tried to help these people. I tried to do what I could for them. All it's giving me is a headache. Hey, listen, I'm good to go. As long as I got my money, as long as I got what I need, I'm good to go, okay? So And actually, there may be some people that have that attitude as well that's really annoying you, that it seems like all they do is care about themselves. So we've got peace here. It's like, I feel like you guys are just like, I'm not going to think about this anymore. I'm going to stay focused on what I'm trying to build and what I'm trying to work on. And I'm not going to worry about this stuff anymore. Everything's going to be fine. Okay. And we have here, good luck. Wow, your fortune is improving and you will get a lucky break soon. Collect nuggets of wisdom. You will need them in the near future. Yeah, well, that's nice. Good luck. We could always all use a little more of that. We've got the waif and the alkalite. And I am going to read this card really quick. Let me find my little book and let's see what the message is for the waif. We all begin as novices, even in trades and skills that we're naturally good at. While it can be frustrating at times to be confined to the role of the student, and the urge to skip ahead might even be overwhelming, remember that it is good to learn the rules first, if only so you know how to break them later. For now, seek the instruction of counsel. Yeah, that's what I was just saying with the Lovers and the King of Pentacles. For now, seek the instruction and counsel of those with more training and experience than you. You have a natural talent and a good teacher will only bring that out in you. And some of you may be learning or listening to an authority figure or to somebody who has more knowledge on a topic than you, and you really are like, wow, like I really am resonating with this energy and I'm really flowing with it. And I'm really understanding what they're saying in a new way that I didn't before. And some of you may develop like a niche little interest during this Mercury retrograde. Like all of a sudden you weirdly just start listening to like, you know, a certain social media personality who does financial advice, or the fire people. Like the fire people are the people that have this whole thing about how to retire and save money and retire early. And there's a whole movement on social media about it. And people are like constantly sharing their knowledge, right? The Lover's card, Gemini energy. And I feel some of you start listening to some new podcasts, or you start listening to some new philosophies on things, and you really flow with it. You're like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense as far as like saving money or retiring early or trying to plan for the future. Like you're listening to some ideas of certain experts in certain fields that you haven't heard before, and you're like, damn, that actually does make sense. And I feel some of you could be trying to explain your newfound discoveries to people, and they are like, don't want to hear it, or they don't like it, and you're like, I'm just going to shut up about it. You know what, with this Ten of Swords, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to keep like trying to talk to people about it or whatever. I'm just going to shut up about it and just, you know, bank my money and just keep and save and bank up what I have. I'm not going to keep trying to tell everybody about it and make everybody understand what I'm doing, because they really are not getting it, okay? And we have Venus, Uranus here. Ooh, okay. I feel some of you could develop during this Mercury retrograde, like I said, a crush on somebody that from like old school, something old school, that you're like, ooh, that's weird. I've never had that type before. I've never liked that. It'd be like one day all of a sudden discovering you have this massive crush on like Marlon Brando or something like that, who's like a really old movie star. Or like, and I don't even really know who Marlon Brando is that well myself, guys. So, you know, like just watching some old movies or some old shows that you love and going, damn, that guy or that girl or that guy is actually kind of sexy, and they're not usually my type, but I am going to flow with it, okay? And maybe you're feeling during this Mercury retrograde too, like socially, you're kind of wanting to be around other people. You're like, socially, I kind of feel like being around some people that I'm not usually around, because I feel like in this whole you can't be friends with everyone card here, It's like I kind of feel like talking to some different people or getting to know some different people. I kind of feel like going my own way and doing my own thing. And some of you with this strength card here in the Tower, you might have friends that like back out at the last minute and you decide, I'm going anyway. And then you meet some funky, weird people while you're there. And it's like, I feel like talking to people with some different perspectives than myself. And I feel like learning from them. And I feel like, I feel like the information that you run into during this Mercury retrograde is really powerful for you, pile number one. And I feel like it really gets you thinking. And it also kind of makes you realize that there are some people in your life that you're just not mentally aligned with that much anymore. And you're like, I actually want to kind of be around some different types of people than I normally am. And we have here the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Yeah, I feel like this Mercury retrograde could be very energizing for you, but I do think you'll have moments with this Ten of Swords where it's like, I don't care anymore. I am not trying to, like, you find peace in kind of like not trying to convince people of things anymore. You're just like, I'm too old for this. I'm whatever. I don't want to argue with people. And I feel like because you're at peace with certain things, other things in your life start to pick up momentum and energy. And shifting and changing in your social circles is definitely gaining momentum and energy. Now, for those of you that know your astrology chart, like if you're a Libra rising, your 11th house is your house of friendship. So any Libra risings watching this video, this could all be very appropriate for you, as this retrograde is going to be happening partially in your 12th house and partially in your 11th house. The 12th house is that part of like giving up, and then the 11th house is like the opening up to new opportunities and conversations with different types of people that you normally wouldn't talk to or get to know, which I feel is exciting. And it can be kind of intimidating when we're starting a whole new thing and we're starting to learn about tons of things that we feel like in the past was kind of closed off to us, that we had no understanding of something, and then someone kind of comes along and opens up our mind on a particular topic, and it's like, oh wow, that is interesting. And you're gonna have really good luck with these types of things. Your fortune is improving. Your money, your work, all that type of stuff. Good luck in those areas, and learning from people and listening to different things and getting turned on to different, podcasts or different social movements or things like that. I feel like you guys are kind of deciding to spend your time around some different people here. We have this what do you feel card here, right? So everybody's got their opinions. Everybody is weighing in on things. There's a lot of voices. There's a lot of chatter. And I feel like it's more exploratory though for you guys, in the sense of what do you feel, right? Because, and I feel like you guys feel that you're very strong and confident and bold and brave, and that you can take situations that are kind of crumbling or not doing that well and bring them back into balance, And I feel like it's more of an exploratory thing though, of what do I feel? What am I into? What am I drawn to intellectually? What kind of people do I feel drawn to? How do I feel about that friendship? How do I feel about that, advisor that I have? Or how do I feel about, the way certain people listen to me or don't listen to me? And, sometimes with the Ten of Swords, things fall on deaf ears, or people are just not hearing you out. And I kind of feel like you're like, you know, and maybe in the past you just were like, hey, everything is fine. See how it says everything is fine on that card there? Maybe in the past you're like, it doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Everything's okay anyway. But lately it's starting to bother you and you're like, no, it does matter that they like never listen or value my opinion. And I'm kind of sick of that. Okay. And I also feel some of you here too, you could, especially for those of you that like to wear different clothes and dress up and kind of, especially for my women here who sometimes like to wear button-up shirts and ties, or like women who like to wear ties sometimes. Very sexy energy, okay, pile number one, if that's the path you're going down during this retrograde. But I mean, I feel like you guys really have, you know, it's kind of dressing in more of a gender neutral way. And that's very mercurial magician energy anyway. And maybe some days you're dressing more general neutral, and then other days you're dressing in different ways. And you're like, well, how do I feel according to all of this? Okay. And with the Venus Uranus, yeah, wearing different clothes than you normally wear, trying things out, seeing how you actually like them. It's like a curiosity factor for you guys during this Mercury retrograde. So pile number one, not bad. I mean, I like that the energy is gaining momentum and that, you know, it feels energetic instead of like dreary and slow. It actually kind of feels energetic. So good for you, pile number one. Wishing you the very best. And take care, my lovies. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Queen of Cups, making it flow, making it graceful, and making it beautiful. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. We are talking about the Mercury retrograde coming up between August 5th and August 28th, starting at 4 degrees Virgo and retrograding back to 21 degrees Libra. So pile number two, let's see, what does this Mercury retrograde have in store for my lovelies in pile number two, please? What does Mercury retrograde have in store for pile number two? Be good to my pile number twos, okay? They deserve it. What does this Mercury retrograde have in store for, there we go, for pile number two? Okay, strength. Ooh, strength came up in pile number one as well. So evidently that is an archetype that we really, and of course it makes sense because the strength card is associated with Leo, and there's a bunch of lions all over this card, and this retrograde is going back into Leo. So that is indeed a very dignified, strong, stunning, beautiful type of energy. I'm seeing some of you doing facials, skin cleansing, you know, a new routine for like your face or moisturizing, a new soap that you're getting, something that really helps with like the freshness and the relaxation of your skin. Not relaxation in a bad way, but like in a good way. It makes it look really soft and dewy and pretty. And yeah, I'm seeing you guys like really working on like your skin or your face during this Mercury retrograde as well. Maybe some of you are getting facials, or you're trying a new lotion, or you're saying, hey, I am going to take the next however many days to do this new routine and see how it goes. So anyway, I'm getting that. We've got the Four of Swords, kicked back and chilling. We have the Fool, okay? Life's a mess, who cares? Live for the moment, all right? We have got the Two of Cups. Oh, that's very sweet. That's very kind and very sweet. And we've got the Hermit, which is representing the Virgo energy. And of course, this retrograde is starting in the early degrees of Virgo. And I feel like this retrograde has you guys searching out like solutions for how to make things simpler and easier and allowing for more relaxation. Some of you here, you may be taking some time off, or you may be taking a trip during this retrograde. And for those of you that are partnered up, I do feel like you need some time with your person, and you also need some time for yourself, okay? And for those of you that are dating someone seriously or seeing someone, there needs to be a balance between together time and separate time for journaling, resting, sleeping, inner discovery, taking some time to yourself versus togetherness, okay? And that could be family togetherness as well. Like a lot of, with the Two of Cups, there's a lot of togetherness and a lot of bonding, but there's also a need for some solitude as well, like going to watch the sunset. I mean, there's some gorgeous sunsets and sunrises in the month of August, like that pink, orange, purple kind of light that is just so beautiful. And I also feel some of you could be going to the eye doctor, because I'm seeing those little hot air balloons that they always show in that puff of air machine in the background here. Some of you could be like watching hot air balloons, watching travel videos, watching planes up in the sky, like, dreaming about your next trip or where you're gonna go, or taking some time to get up in the morning and go watch a sunset, or go watch a sunrise, and then in the evening go watch a sunset. That could be magically delicious energy for your soul and for taking care of your soul during this retrograde. And with the Four of Swords, I feel like you guys are saying, listen, Natalie, I don't care if 800 planets are retrograde right now. I am going to chill my ass out. And I love you for that. I love you for that, pile number 2. It's like, so what? It happens all the time. Mercury's retrograde multiple times a year. I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm going to be calm and be peaceful, and I'm going to chill, okay? And I love that. And I'm going to have time for myself and time for my loved ones, and maybe take a solo journey or a solo trip, or watch the sun come up, and, drink my tea in the morning and do some journaling, and, write out my intentions and what I want. And let's see, this Fool energy is really the only thing I haven't addressed yet. And I have a feeling that's kind of the surprise factor during this retrograde, or that's kind of the chaos that comes up a little bit during this retrograde, that you're like, when it happens, you're like, of course, right? Of course. Like, of course there's an internet outage. Of course there is, I need to go get my phone fixed or go get my iPad fixed. Of course I need to, clear up the data storage on my phone. Of course I need to, of course I scheduled that appointment last minute and then couldn't make it. Like that type of energy. Ooh, we've got the Strength card. You guys have double strength. I like that, okay? And I feel like you guys are telling yourself during this retrograde, don't react, okay? Don't react to people's bullshit. Don't let people phase you. Don't let people distract you from your time and your energy. And I also feel some of you here too, it's like, it's summertime and it's hot as hell. And I don't care if I'm wearing like these shorts and this tank top, and if my boobies are hanging out or you don't like it or whatever. I don't care, because guess what? It is freaking hot out and I need to feel cool. And I'm sorry if you're offended by that, but whatever. I need to feel like I can't be, I just can't be hot all the time, okay? And I need to appreciate this body while I'm young and enjoy this body while I'm young. And I don't care if you're 50, 60 years old or at the reading, Doesn't matter. And I feel some of you could be causing quite a stir at the pool, or quite a stir at the lake or the ocean or wherever you're going by what you're wearing. But I feel like you own it and you're like, what? I mean, what? Like, yeah, so I'm wearing it. What's the big deal? Okay, we have the 5 of Swords under the Fool card. I actually feel like you guys are kind of the ones spontaneously changing plans during this retrograde, and people are kind of irritated with you because you're canceling plans at last minute. You're, saying, yeah, we'll go do this particular thing. And then you're like, nope, sorry, okay. Some of you here could be going to check on relatives or going to check on grandparents, and you find out that they're fine and they really didn't need you to go. So you actually have all this free time on your hands. I do feel like some people who are more planning and more structure, I do feel like they could be getting annoyed with you because you're kind of all over the place, which, whatever. We've got the Hermit under the 2 of Cups, okay? And we have the Star card under the Hermit. And definitely like a soul healing. And I feel like a question you guys are asking yourself is, does spending time with this person, because sometimes when we're with another person, we can still feel very lonely. Or we can still feel like, even though I love this person and I care about them, I do need time to myself. There is that energy going on. And some of you need time to connect like with your inner healing journey. I also see Ouija boards here, somebody busting out a Ouija board. I also see pointy nails that are like silver or gold. Okay, and I see a gold or silver bracelet here as well. And again, I feel like your skin is really looking beautiful during this retrograde. Like some of you doing beautiful natural healing stuff for your skin during this retrograde. Some people take like milk baths, or they take that type of stuff going on. A lot of natural remedies right now that are really gonna make you feel and look fabulous is what I feel. And people like waiting for you to arrive, or people waiting for you to get somewhere. And yet I feel you could be running late or having to cancel appointments. But you're like, it's Mercury retrograde, Natalie. I'm not going to stress about it, okay? Yeah, I am canceling appointments. Yeah, I did have I forgot about that random appointment that I made months ago, and then I didn't come, and then the person is pissed off. But what am I going to do, okay? And for some of you, you could really be pissing off like your hairdresser, or, somebody like that does certain procedures, like beauty procedures or things like that. Or like you have a standard appointment to like bring your car in to get checked, and you just oversleep, or you forgot, or whatever. It's like, I'm sorry, but the person is really pissed or annoyed at you. And you're like, I'll make it up to you. It's going to be okay. I promise. And I feel like a lot of you are thinking to yourselves during this retrograde, do I want to be in a relationship or not? Do I value my independence and my freedom and my ability to do whatever I want? Do I actually want to be in a relationship or not? Like, I feel some of you will be having that dialogue with yourself, because I feel you really do love your freedom, and you don't like people always keeping tabs on you. You do like to do things on your own. You're very independent. And so I also see some of you here really connecting with your animals, or perhaps getting a baby cat or a baby dog, or really connecting with your animals, like big time. Like, the vibe is good, or your animals are getting along, or, you get a new little one for your house, like a new cat or a new dog or something. I am seeing that going on. as well. Okay. And anyway, so what else do we have here? We have bell and announcement. Well, I think the bell, being the beautiful one, is you, pile number 2. Okay, we've got a bell, an announcement. But whatever the announcement is, I feel like you guys don't really care, or there's an important announcement that comes when you're on vacation, or it's the weekend, or it's your day off or something, and there's like an important announcement, and some of you may miss this announcement and then result in your boss getting pissed at you, some guy getting mad at you. Okay, like, somebody tells you something, but I kind of feel like it's in one ear and out the other, or you just kind of forgot. And maybe some of you are kind of having selective hearing during this retrograde, where you're like, yeah, I heard you, but I didn't hear you. Wink, wink, wink. And then this person's like really pissed off at you. We have forgiveness. You are needing to forgive yourself and others. And I do feel like there is a tension between you. And I feel like it's a guy, and it could be somebody that you have coming over to fix something or work with you on something, or it could be a boss, a male figure boss. I do feel it is a guy that is irritated with you. It could be somebody you're dating or getting to know as well, that's annoyed with you because you rescheduled, or you missed the details, or you forgot about it. Okay, but I feel like the person does forgive you. They're mad at you, but then they do forgive you. As long as they get to spend time with you and have some alone time with you, I feel like they forgive you for it. We have learn your lessons. Okay, here, learn your lessons. Education begins on the first day of our lives and ends on the last. We learn something new every day, some of it planned and some of it unplanned. Yeah, with the Fool, definitely some unplanned learning there. Some of it useful and some of it is irrelevant. Yeah, I feel like someone is trying to give you irrelevant information that you don't think is important, but then you're like, oops, I guess it was, and I'm sorry, but I'm only a human being. And so don't be mad at me. Like, I guess whatever, but like, don't hold it against me. Don't hate me because of it. Okay. We learn in different ways, by seeing, by showing, and by doing. Realizing how you learn is a skill you can improve by trying the different methods, okay? And with the Hermit here, some of you are more learning by doing and by experience. And and some of you here may like to learn on your own or work independently or kind of do your own thing. But I also feel like there are some people that are annoyed with that, okay? And you're like, all right, fine, I guess I will. It's like you forgot to fill your PTO request out on the calendar, and your boss is like, what the hell, man? And you're like, okay. And I feel like with the Two of Cups, all is forgiven, all is okay. With time and distance, everyone's fine. But it's like, I gotta get out of here, okay? I need some time to myself, I feel like is what you guys are saying. We have magic here. Ooh, I like that. In those quiet moments, when the sun is coming up or going down, in those very like heart-centered, quiet moments where there's nothing around distracting you and you're at like full creativity, and there's so many things that are inspiring you. The landscape, the stars, the sky, like it all is inspiring you in some way. And yeah, and your head's kind of in the clouds, I feel like, a little during this retrograde, pile number 2, but you're like, I can't have too many stresses right now, Natalie. Like, I just can't, and I get it. We have progress. It seems like a long slog, but your efforts will pay off soon. Stay on course for at least a few more months before making a change. Okay, so it's like just, stay on course before making a change, and then you can go off and kind of do your own thing. But for right now, you kind of have to stay on the defined path, which might be annoying to you because it's like, why? I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I don't need somebody watching over me all the time, you know? And it's like, Spirit's like, we know. Just stay on the path for a while and it'll be okay. We have The Loyalist by Liana Maramont, okay? And somebody's really, I feel like, testing you to see if you're loyal to something or if you're willing to take on a challenge. And I feel like you guys are like, well, duh, okay? But at the same time, some of the details maybe kind of like miss you a little bit. And so you decide, I really need to get focused. I really need to make up with this person. I really do need to focus on the details here. We've got Jupiter, Uranus energy. So this is all about learning new lessons, learning new things, being open to optimistic, positive things that could come your way. Maybe things don't go as they're planned, but it's for your benefit. And we have here a time to give rather than to take. New moon in Virgo, okay? And I forget when the new moon in Virgo is. Is it in early August, I want to say, around the retrograde? I'd have to look at my calendar. But this is actually a special time for you. Virgo time is going to be magical, inspiring time for you where I feel like you guys are going to be connecting spiritually in new ways because you have learned your lessons and you have assimilated a lot of new data and raw experience into your story and into your history. And it says it's a time to give rather than take. And I feel some of you are in a very like spiritual place as well with this transit, and it really does cause you to go deep within yourself and think about, am I really making a difference in this world? Am I really pursuing my purpose? Am I really aligning to my magic? Do I need to approach my faith in a new way? Do I need to approach my education in a new way? Do I need to approach my growth in a new way? And will I allow others to be a part of that process? Okay, and in this Mercury retrograde, I feel like somebody is looking for you to be really loyal and to follow the directions on everything. And when you miss things or when you don't show up for something or you miss things, someone may take that as a sign that you don't care or that you're not like being loyal about something. But I also feel that this person forgives you because they know that you are very loyal and that you are a giver and that you are doing your best to help people. That is your thing. Service, helping people, adding positivity to the planet, helping others heal, getting in touch with your magic. I actually, besides kind of the missing of messages and maybe not understanding something, so you just kind of ignore it or let it fall to the wayside. Other than that, I feel this Mercury retrograde is really positive for you guys. We have the power of attraction. And that is, I feel like with this Two of Cups, where you guys are like, I would rather be alone and I would rather be in my own experience and be unto myself than be with somebody where I don't feel that Two of Cups energy. It has to be a truly soul bonding experience of getting each other and feeling comfortable around each other, okay? And if it's not that, if you don't feel that power pulling you towards someone, then a spiritual power that is pulling you towards another person. I feel like some of you are deciding that you'd rather be on your own, working on your own healing journey, working on connecting to your magic, working on spells, service to others, helping others, being with your animals, focusing on the inward journey, okay? all that type of stuff. I mean, sure, it is very sweet to find that instant attraction to something, but if there's no spiritual alignment, then it can't be, you know? And I feel like you're starting to understand the importance of that in your connections. And you're starting to like maybe take that a little bit more seriously with the depth that you're needing in order to really connect with someone. Because, and also understanding that within yourself, as attracted as you may be to someone and as much as you may like someone, you ultimately need time for yourself as well, okay? And especially with the amount of giving that you give to others, like, it's great to have that connection, but it's also like a calling within you to go and do things on your own as well and find those discoveries. So that is what I am getting for you, pile number 2. I hope that that reading resonated for you. And overall, I feel like as long as, you know, keep making progress and pay attention to announcements or important details that are coming out. Try not to miss appointments if you can. But if you do, oh well, maybe it helps you stumble down a journey that you wouldn't have otherwise. So at the end of the day, it's all good, pile number 2. Let's move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Fierce, Untamed, and Ready card. And today's reading is called Mercury Retrograde, What is Coming for You? Mercury Retrograde is going to be retrograde from August 5th to August 28th. And it will be retrograde in early Virgo and late Leo. So let's go ahead and see. I love the Fierce, Untamed energy. Let's go. And I love that fiery energy of Leo, of creativity and total trust in the creative process. So and not giving a fuck what everybody else thinks. So let's go ahead for my pile number 3s and see for Mercury retrograde, what is coming up for you in this Mercury retrograde? What is coming up for pile number 3? In this Mercury retrograde? 7 of coins or 7 of pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And let's go ahead and see what we have here. We have the Judgment card. We have the 2 of Wands. Okay. And we have the Knight of Spears, which is the Knight of Wands. And we have the Empress. Interesting. Okay. I feel like you guys are kind of putting an ultimatum on a situation in your life where it's like time's up, okay? Like either you come now or you don't come at all. Either we make this happen now or I just move on without you, okay? And I do feel like this is a pretty big Mercury retrograde for you guys with these 2 major arcana cards here with the Judgment card and the Empress card. And at the center of it all is an ultimatum, I feel, or a breaking point or an ultimatum about a particular relationship or about, and that relationship, it could be a friendship, romantic relationship, etc., family, but there is a sense of there's no going back now. Either we do this now or we move on, okay? And let's see what else we have here. We have 3 of Cups under the Judgment card, okay? We have Knight of Wands. Again, 2 of the Knight of Wands. So, you know, we have Knight of Spears, which is the Knight of Wands, and now we have it again. So we've got the Knight of Wands twice in your reading. So it's like there is something like I am looking for passion. I am looking for connection. I am looking for people who are enthusiastic. I am looking for people who know how to step it the hell up, because I just found over time that I am more attractive to the badasses of the world, the people that take action, the people that are more risk takers, the people that get my engine revved up and get me humming and rolling. Like, I am more attracted to people like that. Like, I am not very attracted to people who take forever, who don't, you know, come when they say they're going to, people who, you know, I feel like excitement is at an all-time high, but patience may be kind of at an all-time low. And there's a need to, it's like, if I'm not having fun and I don't feel turned on, fuck it, I'm out, okay? And so let's see what else we have here. We've got the 9 of Cups. Ooh, well, that's sexy, okay? That is definitely a sexy energy, and it's an energy of somebody being available and wanting to have fun, all right? And of somebody, and again, we see all the bottles of wine here. Somebody wants to get crunk. They want to get wild. They want to have some drinks. They want to turn up, okay? They want to have a good old time, okay? And, you know, it's like passion, pleasure, intense, in the moment, seductive. I am seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of drinking as well, and or celebrating of something, and a lot of high intensity and passion, okay? And I feel like, you know, at the end of this Mercury retrograde, you guys are like, fuck, I gotta slow down with this Empress card here. Like, you know, there's maybe some habits or things that you're wanting to change, or you're like, that was really fun and we did get really crazy, but I need to slow the fuck down a little bit here, okay? And we've got the 10 of Cups and the Empress. So that's interesting, okay? And that's a lot of cups. That is, you're like, I want to slow down and I want to like take it easy, but I'm so freaking happy that me and this person connected in this way. It's hard for me to be patient. It's hard for me to slow down because I feel like I'm expanding and I'm growing and things are changing. There's a lot of, you know, fertile energy in this reading as well too. And I feel like you guys are really looking forward to the future, and you're really excited because it feels like things are just growing and getting better and growing stronger, and that your emotions towards something are growing even more strong. And now, once you and this person connected, like so sexually or romantically or just intensely, that it's like, oh, we can't stop now. We got to keep going because this dream is going to materialize, okay? And, but there is something here about like worrying with this Judgment card and the 3 of Cups. Like, is this just a good time? Or is this just a flash in the pan or a good time? Or is this actually true? You know, is this actually something that could support my happiness? Could this go further? You know, and I kind of feel like maybe you guys, there's going to be some unexpected, impromptu seeing of someone, meeting someone, phone sex, email sex, whatever you guys got going on over there, okay? There's going to be an impromptu, crazy showing up on your doorstep. Here I am. Let's go. Vroom, vroom, baby. And, you know, and when they leave, you're like, damn, that was nice, you know? And you're feeling real satisfied with the Empress. But there's also something here with this 7 of Pentacles, I feel, that is a slight warning of needing to slow down a little bit, okay? And so before we get totally wild and in over our heads, right? So we've got Quill here, get back to the basics, okay? And the basics could be enjoying yourself and having a good time and not overcomplicating things. And it's like, if I am not having a good time with someone and I don't feel turned on, then why bother, right? We have here vision work, strengthening your gifts by looking at the clouds. Ooh, and in this Two of Wands, she is staring out at the clouds, okay? And visualizing things. And we have the quill, which is for writing, and even writing like hot, sexy stories or listening to hot, sexy literature, and or writing hot, sexy literature. I mean, I feel like that could definitely be coming on. And vision work, okay? And thinking about what you want to manifest and what you want to bring into your life and what makes sense for you and what turns you on and what gets you feeling spicy. We have friendship makes you rich beyond measure. What is a friend? A friend is someone special in your life, someone who knows everything. A friend knows that you're not perfect and that you don't agree on everything all the time, but you still love each other. We can look up the word friendship in the dictionary, but the meaning is really only known in our hearts, right? And it's like, yeah, this person is very outgoing, they're very outspoken, but they're very excited to see you or to come see you and spend time with you. And they love how sexy and clever and fun and outgoing you are. Okay, but at the same time, I feel some of you could really be kind of getting a little bit sucked into this situation here. So maybe, we want to get back to like, because this situation's kind of wild, I feel, pile number 3. It's really fun and wild, but maybe you feel like you're neglecting some time with friends, etc. But, the Empress knows how to make time for everything and, kind of keep everyone happy, right? We have conscious here, and it's like I'm putting my happiness and my value and my ability to grow and care and be happy in situations. I'm understanding how important that is and how conscious I am of what makes me happy and what makes me feel good, both emotionally and sexually. Like what makes me happy, what makes me feel passionate, and what's important to me that I believe in. Okay, and we have here in the flow. Wow, the universe is sending you help to tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful life that you really want to have. And maybe some of you have decided, I'm sick of waiting for things to happen. I'm sick of waiting in the corner. I'm sick of not prioritizing my own wellness and happiness. And I love the jellyfish here, like the neon jellyfish. It's so pretty. And jellyfish, they really light up the dark in the ocean. And it's like the ocean is like another galaxy or star system that's really dark. And then you've got stars in them, and the jellyfish are like the stars. Anyway, isn't that kind of funny? Maybe you guys are going to have a lot of weird thoughts like that when you are. And if you do get weird thoughts, write them down, okay? Get back to basics and go with the flow and do things that are easy, that make you feel passionate, inspired, motivated, and happy to be where you are. And I feel at the end of this retrograde, some of you are like really happy to be where you are in your life. Like you're really feeling fulfilled. And it's not just because of this Knight of Wands, but I mean, I feel like that does bring on like the pleasure, the seduction, the happiness, the feel good pheromones and all of that. But I also feel like you're just really happy with where you're at. We have here Rhaenyra Targaryen, the Overlooked, okay? And sometimes some of you may feel like you haven't been spending a lot of time with your friends, or you haven't been checking in with them enough lately, or friends are feeling kind of overlooked. And I'm going to read this card here to give us a little more ideas here. And of course, Mercury retrogrades are really good to connect like with old friends and talk and, you know, communicate and laugh and all of that. And maybe life gets busy. So sometimes like it's a perfect time to reach out to old friends, or perhaps old friends are reaching out to you. Despite all your hard work and dedication, no matter how suited you are for a particular job or position, you might find yourself overlooked for arbitrary reasons. There will no doubt be frustrating and maybe even humiliating things, and you should let yourself feel all those things. However, if you were passed over, please know that it reflects more on the people who hurt you and the world they come from than it does on you. If you must forgive, don't forget, and either make plans to get out of these circumstances or find a way to ensure that this will never happen again. So if you are feeling overlooked or rejected by something or someone during this Mercury retrograde, then understand the value within yourself and how conscious you are of wanting to make choices that really prioritize your happiness and your feelings of pleasure in life, okay? And if there is a person who it's like you're trying to tell them, hey, you got to make a decision here. You need to pick either me or this other person, and you're feeling overlooked or things like that, then I feel like it really is important to do some self-healing around that, and to feel beautiful within yourself and to feel valuable within yourself, regardless of how another person is treating you, right? Because our worth isn't determined by other people and what they think of us, all right? But some of you may be very busy with a particular person who unexpectedly comes on the scene and is really hot, but your friends are feeling kind of let down, or maybe feeling like you don't have the most time for them lately. And I feel like it's not on purpose though. You guys are just kind of in the flow. You're doing what you do. And anyway, there may be a conversation with a friend that comes up where either you're feeling overlooked or they're feeling overlooked. And it's like, hey, I know you're excited about this new thing in your life and it's really fun, but there's room for all of us. And it doesn't mean I'm forgetting you. It doesn't mean that I don't care. I still love you very much, you know? And we have here Jupiter Chiron. And sometimes even the best things can come with doubts, like, oh, this really good thing is coming into my life and it's so amazing and wonderful, but I'm not too sure about it yet. I'm not too sure, like, if I'm kind of like, or it could be where you're trying to explain your happiness to other people and you're trying to be really optimistic, and other people are just not as in a good a mood, or they're a lot more cautious, or they're far more like, they're like, please be careful and don't give all of yourself to this situation, because things can seem really easy and comfortable in the beginning, but it doesn't always go that way, right? So I kind of feel like there is that kind of thing going on with the Jupiter Chiron. And it's like, oh, I think someone's really comfortable around me, or that they really like me. And then I find out that they're upset with me, or they need to talk, right? And it's like where a friend is really happy for you, or they're really happy for the things happening to you, but they're going through a hard time and they need some help, right? So I do think that is coming up. And sometimes in life, like, we see all the good things happening, but we're afraid, like, when is the other shoe gonna drop, or something bad is gonna happen, right? So I feel like positive vision work and all of that is good, and being in the flow with things, not worrying so much, okay? Like worrying that happiness isn't gonna last, or it's not going to be fulfilling, okay? We have here, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius, and I feel like that's what you guys are doing at this time, especially with vision work and looking at the bigger picture with things. We also have here what is already with you, okay? What is already with you? And that is friends, loved ones, people that care about you, what is already with you. And I'm going to read a little bit of this card because I feel kind of drawn to it, okay? And this is card 17, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will read a little bit. You hold in your hand that which you seek. In other words, the pair of spectacles you have been rummaging around in the house for are sitting on top of your head. Oh my God. Well, that may happen during the retrograde, right? Like you're looking for your glasses and oh shit, they're on top of your head. Okay, and Jupiter is about seeking. What you are seeking, perhaps by exploring far and wide, is actually right under your nose, okay? You may not like this idea. It's so much more wonderful to imagine there is something yet to find. Of course, there is unlimited creative potential and always something more that can be. Yet in this instance, it's important for you to know that you already have what you need and what you want. That doesn't mean it's the end of the story, although it does ask you to give up the fantasy that a perfect solution lies in the future somewhere else. Instead, it asks you to acknowledge that everything is necessary for success is with you now. All you need to do is accept this and act with what is available to you. This is good news, okay? And it may not seem like you have much to start with. Perhaps you feel that you have a small, simple choice to make. Perhaps you have a song to begin, an email to send, a conversation to start, or a sketch to let loose. However small, it is enough to get the ball rolling. Don't make the mistake of believing what you need is behind you, lies with another, or is yet to appear. You have all that you need to take the next step in your life, and from that, all else will flow. This oracle comes with guidance. You are more ready than you think you are. You are more prepared than you realize. You don't need an entire army of resources to move ahead. Although you may find that when you do move, many resources suddenly become apparent. All that you need in this moment is just one sweet act of nourishment. Yes, the Empress and the Ten of Cups. That is enough to take you out of backwards nostalgia or regret and forward into what is awaiting you now. Be brave, dig deep within, and enjoy the sweet surrender. Okay. Yeah, every journey starts with a single step. So anyway, thinking of how far you have gone to get to this point, how patient you've had to be, how patient with yourself and other people, and really being proud of yourself for the steps that you've taken at this point in your life, okay? Yeah, it hasn't been easy. Yeah, there has been disappointments. Yeah, things often come with the price, right? Jupiter, Chiron. But look at the bigger picture of where you're headed to and all the effort that it has taken to get to that position, okay? And there's a lot of healing in that for you, pile number 3, okay? So pile number 3, this is what I am getting for you, my loves. I wish you the very best, my friends, and take care.